James and I saw Minecraft.
We sure did.
It was super fun. I wasn't too overstimulated. It was way better than what I thought it was going to be. You could tell that like Jason Momoa and Jack Black were just having a ton of fun. I was surprised that they actually focused on like characters and story. I thought there was adult humor, like it didn't drag on too long. I didn't know a ton about Minecraft going into it, but I could tell they were just very creative in showing off all the parts of those world, like the world of Minecraft. And joy is infectious and so is authenticity. So the thing that James pointed out to me, I recognized the name of Jared Hess, but I didn't really know until James told me who Jared Hess was. I think the fact that they had Jared Hess is at the helm of Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre and Gentleman Bronco, like he's just a masterful director. And James said that he noticed a bunch of Easter eggs.
He also brought on a crew that he worked with on Masterminds, which is another great film. Really silly slapstick kind of comedy with Zach Galifianakis that I always highly recommend.
Are we going to talk about? We're going to have specifics, yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, a spoiler alert. We're going to talk about specifics.
What was nice was that Jared Hess and probably along with the writing team were able to mix in, Jared Hess's sense of humor that is very prevalent in Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. To the point where there's just straight up references to those films that are pulled right out of it.
Most I didn't notice.
Jason Momoa's the town that they're in with the potato chip factory is in Idaho. There's a llama. There's a moment where
Tina, you fat lard from Napoleon Dynamite, in case you don't know.
Momoa clenches his butt cheeks at one point, and they zoom in on it, and it's fantastic, and just like Nacho Libre. So clearly, there's things that Jared Hess finds very funny, and he made sure to put those in his film for the benefit of those of us who are big Jared Hess fans. I think he kind of leaned on that. Jared Hess doesn't have a lot of movies in his catalog. This is probably only his like fifth or sixth film, to be honest.
Now he's making that Minecraft money.
Now he'd already pitched a sequel. I already watched an interview with him, and he's just saying how like Minecraft is it's as long as we kept it Minecrafty, we can tell whatever story we want. And he was just like, I wanted to keep it simple, just make it an adventure, go from point A to point B with Minecraft characters mixed in there, and that was it, and it worked. They had all sorts of references from the game, but mostly they captured the internet meme culture of Minecraft players, which is extremely hard to do. And I think they just didn't overthink it. They just kind of put it in there, and it worked. So yeah, really,
and I think that's
really
just attributes to the success.
Their production designer is an Oscar winner who did the production design on Lord of the Rings, which is crazy to think about. So I think they just kind of went above and beyond to make sure that they were doing the right things and putting all the pieces together to make a quality film. I always think of there's a podcast called How Did This Get Made? And one of the guys on there, Jason Mantzoukas, I think, says, like, we've been doing this podcast for so long and we've watched so many bad movies. You think at some point over the 100 years of making movies that there would be like an actual bar that says, once you cross this bar is the minimum you need to do to make a good movie. Like, I think they figured that out, but it's still shocking that they don't actually always meet that bar.
Sometimes you have an intention and like nobody, and you've already made it. And like, I honestly think that's a huge part of it is like, you've already made it. You've already spent so much money and they go, oh, let's just put it out anyway. Like we can't afford to completely redo it, or people are just delusional.
And it's crazy because this movie had like 8 writers credited, and then they had even more writers in the credits because this movie's been in development since 2014. And so it's just crazy to think that after all that, it still came together as a really great, high-quality film.
And
plus, it's Jack Black in his element. It's just him being like what everybody loves about Jack Black. It's just that, the whole movie.
Yeah, I mean, they clearly did something right for, obviously, the fact that it was made is for like the Gen Z and younger audiences. And the fact that me, you, and Jenny were like cracking up the whole time just speaks to the millennial script and the humor of it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's really funny. It's really great. It's nice to have.
I wonder if Jared Hess is a fan of Minecraft.
And look, Nacho Libre is rated PG. I think he's found this really nice formula to make nice, uplifting, feel-good movies that you can watch with anybody. And they kind of, like a good Pixar movie kind of hits all those age groups, if you will. Like anybody can enjoy it. And it kind of felt like this way too.
James said this thing where someone online was saying, in studios will do their best to study and strategize and try to recreate this, and they won't be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because there is something that just kind of sometimes magically happens which is what, I think I am attributing the success of it to Jared Hess. Just having that sort of visionary director, that kind of auteur director at the helm of a big franchise like this. He obviously infused it with the essence of who he is and the artist that he is, which I think just made it really, really good. Because I went in with really low expectations. Yeah, I literally went in saying this film's going to be garbage.
The consensus I've seen on the internet is that the trailer made it look really bad. The trailer did not make it look good. And I remember
they probably didn't want to ruin all the lines.
Yeah,
and stuff. Yeah, I literally went to see it ironically, and we were both like, huh? Anyway, see you later.
Bye.